apocalypse, Mr. Mannheim.
Who are you?
Your new lord and master. You may call me Darkseid.
Hey, friend in Christ, do you know a guy who needs to be kicked in the balls? Then sounds like you need to call the Kickers Incorporated. And this week they're sponsoring Darkseid's Couch. I'm Mike.
Hey, this is James.
I'm Shée.
Isn't that great? Our new sponsor is the Ball Kickers.
I'm really excited that they signed on with us.
Yeah, thank God.
We're really leaning into the Christ thing, like between Christian Love Toys and
.com.
now there's some sort of .com and there's some sort of Christian thing that you just threw in right there. They're kicking people in the balls for Christ.
All right, they can. I mean, they're football players. They have their prayer.
They're gonna Tebow you. That's what Tebowing is.
Yep.
Is when a professional NFL player kicks you right in the scrotum.
Yep, because you have it coming.
God, what was
Yeah, you did
Tebowing
deserve it.
again? What was the move?
I think it was when you got down on your knees and you kind of like did like a thinker pose, kind of. But it was also about Christ. It was like praying maybe on your knee or something like that.
I would have dropped a Duke
Oh my God.
right there in front of everyone during the NFL game.
Yeah, there's your motivation to get into shape and join the NFL.
I'm
Can't be
only
that
40
hard.
I'm only 40.
Yeah, it can't be that hard to join the NFL.
You're
I
not
think-
40 yet.
Well, he's way past 40 in spirit.
I like to round up.
Blew past that a while ago. Yeah,
It's like,
him
it's like the number of bodies.
I met Mike in his mid 40s, and that was
'Cause
25
James
years
is
ago.
the oldest, right?
James and I are pretty much the exact same age.
Well, I'm the youngest in spirit, though.
No, you're not.
I kind of am. I have a childish whimsy to me.
As in you can't change a tire.
Yeah, people respond well to it. I can change my filters in my car. In fact, I have to do that. Oh shit! I keep forgetting to do that. I need to change those filters. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna carbon monoxide poison.
Sounds
whatever
like I should
happens.
hire the Kickers Incorporated to remind you by kicking you in the balls.
Yeah, that's probably another one of their side hustles. They got a lot of things on their plate. They're busy guys. The Kickers.
Mike,
Inc.
I'll chip in and it can be his Christmas present.
All right. Does a football team kid like bursting through his door, attacking his genitals?
Oh yeah, Kool-Aid Man style. Yeah, the Kickers Incorporated. We're gonna talk all about the Kickers Incorporated, but I want to get a couple things off the plate before we get in there. First off, YouTube URL. Thanks for nothing, everybody. No. We've been shamelessly pleading with you guys to join the YouTube, and you did kind of. But then they went ahead and just let us have our own YouTube handle without having a certain amount of subscribers.
So we can just
So-
go back to being antagonistic.
Yeah, so we don't have to suck up to you guys anymore. So now
I'm choosing to
did.
believe that they all wrote to YouTube and that's why it happened.
that may have happened.
That is a real roundabout way
Yeah.
to get that happen. They could
Yeah,
have
really.
They're
pressed the button.
shy.
Put a lot more work.
Could just press all the more reason to just press the button if you're shy.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll make it easier for people to find us, so you can go to our new domain, which is officially youtube.com/@hotsingles in your area.
Yep, hot Christian love toys.
Christian love. No, it's youtube.com/@darkside'scouch. So I guess that's going to make it easier to find and share. I don't know, man. Just start hashtagging, not hashtagging, I guess it's adding Dark Side's Couch to just every video you do, every video you look at on YouTube. Just put it in the comments, because it's not spamming if you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only spamming if we do it. You go ahead and do that. Just put it in anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You know, I could just make a bunch of fake accounts and do it. Then
Yeah,
it won't
I guess
technically be me doing it.
Well, if it's people that already have YouTube activity, it looks legitimate. You know, it's people you can look at their history and say
Like we
they've
could
actually.
hire bots.
Well, you don't hire them. You're not going to pay the bots. You pay the people that
That's what
dispatch the bots.
I know. That's what I mean.
Well, I don't know. After looking at the cover of Kickers Incorporated #2, I thought maybe you thought the bots had become sentient.
Yeah, they want their money for all the botting they've been doing on Twitter.
Yeah. We thought we were contractors. We didn't think we were slaves here.
Where is our revenue?
It's just after Thanksgiving. It's not, but let's say it is. By the time you hear this, it will be.
Yeah.
And that means it's football season, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how football works.
I do.
Mike, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
Or what did you do for Thanksgiving? Because it was a few days ago.
Nothing. My mom's working, and so I'm going to go the next day.
Your mom can't afford to take the day off.
She refuses to retire because that would mean spending all day with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So she'd rather work at a hospital and clean up strangers' assholes.
Yeah, just vomitous diarrhea.
Then deal with the asshole she married.
I'd rather deal with the diarrhea coming out of these guys than the diarrhea coming out of your fucking mouth.
Right.
She gets paid for that one.
I keep telling her like, well, you could. She'll just complain about the hospital and just be like, you could just retire. You're like way past when you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. Shée made a delicious meal, I'm sure, as she's the only one of us who knows how to cook.
That's not true, but in terms of cooking, but I probably did make a delicious.
James, you and I could just
so
like
good.
watch one YouTube video and we'll know how to cook one thing.
I will say, though, I've gotten a lot better. After a couple of years of pandemic and HelloFresh and Green Chef and all that shit, I learned a few things. I can get by. I can do an okay thing or two. I can cook up a meal, some vittles.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I can get by. I made Shea a pretty kickin' chicken parm a while ago. It was a while ago.
A pretty kickers.
Pretty kickers.
Yeah, kickers came in and kicked that chicken right in the balls.
I'm just always looking for an excuse to revisit Kickers.
Yeah, Kickers is my favorite comic.
It is
Fantastic.
one of the best. So this is our fourth time looking at Kickers. We'll give a quick.
Even though it's number 2.
Even though it's number 2, because we don't look at them in order for reasons that I'm not clear on, but we don't.
Because we started with a random wheel.
We started with a random selection. I don't think it was that was pre-wheel. That was
it pre-wheel?
It was still a random. It was not number 1. So
Mike picked it because it was a book called Clown Time is Over.
Yeah, and it involved clowns on cocaine.
And I had the idea at the time.
Clown time is over.
Still don't know what it
Magna
means.
Conte bursts through the wall and all these clowns
yeah.
like just freeze.
I was thinking about it. It's like, oh God, anyone listening to it for the first time, this is like the most lore-dense episode to listen to. This is not a good starter episode.
Probably not.
Because I decided, okay, well, when we read this, let's read it while we're recording for the first time. We've never seen it before, and that's the proud tradition that we don't know. We have not looked at Kickers, the issue ahead of time when we do Kickers, and we don't do them in order.
Why did that start?
I don't know. Well, why? Because I just thought it would be fun to do one. It was actually the Cougar. Was it the Cougar that we first did without reading it ahead of time?
I think we read that.
I just thought, no, I think that was one we read live. I don't know. But there was one we read live, quote unquote. It just seemed like something fun to do, just a gimmick. And then it just became a tradition. That's what all traditions are. They're just gimmicks that went on too long.
To the point where that's mostly what we do in the show.
Yeah, just fuck around.
And find out.
The quick idea here is Kickers Incorporated was part of the Marvel New Universe, it wasn't going to have any superpowers except when it did, which was almost always. But the idea was it wouldn't have any superpowers. And Kickers Incorporated was a proposed very serious comic book about a team of NFL players, the New York Smashers, who when they got a couple moments, they go out there and they solve crimes.
Mm-hmm. And here in issue 2, we're gonna see them battle a what is the name of the robot? Robbie the Robot.
Rob the Robot from Nintendo. Yeah, Robbie the Robot from Nintendo. Yeah. We also for whatever reason, and I don't know how this came to be, we've decided that the head kicker, I guess he's the quarterback, Jack Magna Conte.
Magna Conte. I know exactly why we started doing that.
Because he looks like Hank Hill. Why did we start doing him in a Hank Hill voice?
Because his name.
Because you say everything in fucking Hank Hill voice.
Well,
James.
get ready then.
No, we started saying everything in Hank Hill's voice because of Magna Conte. And the reason why we did it is because Hank Hill, of saying Wimatanye, sounded a lot like Magna Conte.
So I can't figure out if the lore is that Magna Conte is Hank Hill or they're just very similar, but whatever. We leaned into it. And so actually, a while ago, buddy of the show, Art Parker, he made us this. He sent this. I got it right here.
Howdy, friends. I am Hank Hill, and this is Darkseid's Couch.
So sweet.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Art. And that gave me the idea, we mentioned on the show a couple episodes ago, that the next time we did Kickers, we would just have some other Magna Conte-centric Hank Hill soundboard items. So we've got a few. We've got just
Let's go Smashers.
a handful of Hank Hill drops. So we'll be ready for it.
You were like, how come you didn't make a bunch of them? It's like, because mine would not have been, I wouldn't have been able to think of that. Just Hank Hill saying Magna Conte things. Everything, all my ideas were just so fucking complicated. I was like, I'm not doing all that.
Well, you gotta say it right.
Magna Conte.
You gotta put a little stink on it.
Magna Conte.
Mike just gave me a shitload of files of Hank Hill talking about kicking your ass, and I just put them on a rotator, and I haven't even looked at them because this was 15 minutes ago.
Don't bother.
I'm going to kick this guy's ass over the phone.
That's all I have. I just have a rotator. So those are actually from episodes. These are real
I ought
ones.
to kick my own ass.
But I generated some Kickers Incorporated specific ones that we'll go through. I'm sure they will be appropriate to the
Dude,
comic. as we'll go
earlier
through it.
today, I got off work and I was just stoned off my ass, and I just was watching Hank Hill videos of him threatening to kick people's asses, rolling, dying, laughing.
You know, and I've mentioned this to Shea before, and Shea always defends it because she has some sort of weird love for Hank Hill, like he's a human being. But he always threatens to kick people's asses. He rarely ever does.
That's not true. I've seen him kick some people's asses
A
on the show.
couple, relative to how many times he claims to do it.
Well, he never needs to. Usually he gets his way.
That is true. I don't know why anybody just listens to him though.
Because he was a known ass kicker.
No, he wasn't. That's the problem. He needed to kick a few asses legitimately to get people to believe that.
I should have captured the sound of him screaming at the twig boy, the guy, the social worker.
Yeah.
Little
God,
twig boy.
That's genius.
Yeah.
That's like the first episode, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Over the course of like 13 seasons, he kicked like
it's
3
either
people's
the first
asses.
episode or the smoker episode, but that's also season 1, I think.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
And so we've got, the roll call on the kickers is a guy named Brickwall, a guy named Dasher, a woman named Doll, a guy named Suicide, and our quarterback, our star, Mr. Magnificent himself, Jack Magnaconte.
And Prancer and Vixen.
Yeah, they're all
Donner
there.
And Cupid.
And I am very
Dopey
confident.
and Sleepy.
This book ran for 12 issues, and it's been kind of shit. But I'm
No, it
confident
hasn't.
that-
Every issue has been great.
I agree with Mike.
What do you want in a comic book?
I mean, it doesn't really make sense because in one issue they're going to South America the night before the Super Bowl. By the way, they're in the Super Bowl, and the night before they go to South America to topple a drug dealer, a drug smuggler, a drug kingpin.
Yeah, they go there and commit war crimes, and then Magna Conte comes back with the worst PTSD in the world.
And we also found out later that Magna Conte has been taking pills that his brother gives him, and it gives him superhuman powers, and he doesn't realize that it's giving him powers. And the doctor confronts him and goes, "Hey man, it seems like you're on steroids." And he goes, "No, I just take these pills my brother gave me."
Who's your brother, Vince McMahon?
So. Well, regardless, I'm confident that it's all good. I think we can agree that it doesn't make sense, at least.
It's a very Dark Side's Couch comic.
Right. I'm confident, though, that it's all going to make sense. We just need to read more of these. And this is the earliest one that we've read so far. So I really think it's going to gel, and we're going to see how really cohesive this book was starting here.
Yeah, Kickers Incorporated #2. Where walks the robot, even
robot.
though that robot has treads?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. He looks like, if anybody remembers, if anyone's 1,000 years old, Rob the Robot from Nintendo. I don't remember because I didn't have a Nintendo. I just
People
wanted
would
it.
remember it probably now from Smash Bros.
Yeah, that's how I know. I
Oh,
never
he's in
heard of
Smash Brothers?
I never heard of
Yeah.
Robbie the Robot until Smash Brothers.
Well, do you know what it actually did? Because I've watched videos on it because it was the only way I could experience because I was denied it as a child.
It kicked people in the balls.
Well, yeah, that was the add-on. No, it was a little robot that you sat next to, and it would, depending on what you did on the screen, it would respond to the IR signals, and that would tell it to like lift something and put it somewhere else. And it could only move into like 3 positions, but it looked like it was playing the game with you, and that was the idea. But it only worked with like 2 games.
Just for like kids with no brothers
Lonely
or sisters
kids.
or friends.
I mean, again,
Nintendo.
latchkey kid here. I should have had it. They kept it from me.
You didn't have a Nintendo.
I should. This is the whole thing. I should have had all of these things.
So on the tread of the robot, it says frenzy breeding.
No, it says Friends and Breeding. Ron Friends and Brett Breeding, who did the art for the
Friends are
comic
breeding.
book. Well, they are breeding. It's a
That's
new
fuck buddies.
It's a new
Yeah, they
dawn
are.
of. And so on this, we see that Magna Conti is aghast because Rob the Robot has burst through the wall.
I'm terrified that I'm now getting to an age that I'll never have fuck buddies ever again.
I mean, you can. They just won't be very attractive.
Right.
Dang it, Peggy, that Nintendo robot just destroyed my wall.
Damn Nintendo robot. All right.
The video
So-
games.
All them video games you've been playing.
Bobby.
All right. And again, we're going to go through this. Also, I mean, Hank Hill's a big football fan, so I guess this
Yes,
is kind
he
of
is.
appropriate. And Art is actually from Texas. Art's a Texas boy.
Yep, he is in Texas
So
right now.
when he
Howdy.
sent us down
Voting
this
for
path,
Ted Cruz and destroying the electric infrastructure.
aggressively voting for him. Yeah, I
Purposely
actually
going to power the power supply place Power station. There we go. Could think of and destroying the trans.
He's doing it to stop the Democrats from stealing the election.
This is it is election day today when we're recording this, and I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to vote, at least half the people I see there, like they clearly shouldn't be voting.
Yes, one of those people is me, and so I don't vote.
Every time I go, I'm serious. Every time I go, there's somebody causing a scene.
Was there a communist choice or a socialism choice in the ballot?
No.
Well, then why would I vote?
Because socialists don't have votes. They just they have overlords.
So that's not true.
No, I know. I just see people screaming at each other, and I don't understand. Because
it's fun.
Look. I realize you all have a right to vote, but some of you guys need to stay home.
So you're a fascist.
We don't need your thoughts. I mean, I've said before, a little bit of fascism goes a long way.
It's white man fascist.
You know what I've said is prohibition, when they instituted prohibition, because alcohol is stupid, and they instituted prohibition, all kinds of crime and death went down dramatically because of prohibition. So there's a good chance that you are only alive today because of prohibition, because of a little drop of fascism. You may never have existed.
I don't think any of my people were in America yet.
Oh, yeah? They couldn't find the boat?
I don't think they showed up yet.
They're too plastered to get on that boat?
I think I'm only like a third generation or maybe second.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've done my anti-alcohol rant. Scared everybody off.
You want to know what your problem is? You haven't had a good tequila.
You know what? I've had this. So this is the bullshit I've had here all my life. Is every couple of years somebody comes along and goes, no, you just haven't drank with me yet.
No, I don't mean that. You need to have a nice Mexican restaurant meal with like a normal glass of like the house margarita with the 3 proper ingredients, and just not to get smashed, but just to enjoy it.
I don't think I would.
Well, I'm saying you guys gotta try it. Have a delicious burrito.
Alcohol.
It's not tequila is very different.
All of them are different. I've not liked any of them. I've not liked beer. I've not liked rum. I've not liked a couple other ones.
All that stuff makes you feel like garbage. Tequila makes you feel great.
That is not what I have heard.
Tequila is.
That's not what those hangover movies taught me.
That's because they're having too much. Just have like a glass or two.
Tequila fucks you up, and Zach Galifianakis is hilarious.
My when I don't feel like making all the ingredients for tequila for like margaritas at home, I'll have like tequila and sugar-free lemonade, and that's my cocktail. That's good as fuck.
I thought you were a. Oh no, you said you were a margarita guy. That's established lore.
1800 tequila is my brand. That's what I like.
Oh.
Great. So now it became an alcohol ad. It went from me railing against alcohol.
I'm trying to get that 1800 money. Like I should be their spokesman.
That's our third sponsor.
Are you a degenerate but want to be happy?
Do you want to seem a little classier than you actually are, you scum of the earth?
Are you constantly eating Mexican food nonstop? Do you want to fancy up your Taco Bell?
Are you going to need Mike's mom to come clean you up tonight?
Yep. Is there in the hospital with a blown out asshole?
Does your mom specifically clean assholes, Mike?
She deals in assholes and only assholes.
She like an asshole RN or doctor?
It's a real job, Shée.
The job she is a nursing tech, which means they take care of the patients.
She looks at butts.
Yes, but she isn't anally
Which means
specialized.
what she does is she does physics in her head to figure out how she's gonna roll that fat motherfucker over from the movable like rack to the bed.
They don't
she
have
doesn't exclusively work with assholes.
They don't have the big pizza paddle. just shove it under, and then like 3 people grab it,
and she's like, "Mamma mia! Look at this guy's dick."
Speaking of dicks,
check out the bulge on Magna Conte.
Yeah, seriously, he's packing.
But he is Magna Conte. Is he saying it in the mirror?
I think so, but like I said, I wasn't sure if in our lore Magna Conte is Hank Hill. I just think what I think is that they're 2 separate guys who are basically identical. They speak exactly the same.
It'll be like when the Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
Yeah, sure. That thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Magna Conte, you are my favorite quarterback, even though you're from New York.
From New York City. All right, I think we should get into this. I'm very excited to see what happens. We have not looked at this before, so I'm going to try and edit it smoothly. But if it's a little clunky, that's because we're actually trying to figure out what the hell we're looking at as we go.
Luckily, I never read the books ever, and I never look at them while we're doing it.
So I've gotten used to it. This is issue 2, From 1986, a book called The Robot in My Rose Garden, written by Tom DeFalco, art by Ron Frenz and Brett
I thought
Breeding.
it was called Where Walks the Robot.
That's just what's on the cover. we've seen this before too, and I don't know why it is, but oftentimes they'll put what seems to be the title of the book on the cover, and that's not the name of the comic.
The robot in my rose garden is also what you call when you stick a vibrator in your ass.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything for that.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't have any Hank Hill comments for that.
Oh, you have that.
I do, but it's on a separate page. Where is that?
Why
Where did I
would
put
you
that
take
one?
that away?
Because
Why
I
would you
had to
just
make it. I have it. I have it. I just put it on a separate page. I only have 16 buttons, so I have to put them on different pages. It's the Stream Deck.
All right, our Patreon is going to be for James can get some more buttons.
I could get the Stream Deck XL. Yeah, I could
James
go.
needs a Stream Deck XL.
Yeah. I could use that Stream Deck foot controller so I can trigger them with my feet and still have my hands free for touching various things I want to touch.
Ooh.
Yeah. I wanted the show to get a lot sexier, but I need that foot controller.
Yep.
All right.
And then we'll have a camera
So-
by your feet so people could see you operate it.
Yeah, I already said,
and then we'll run an OnlyFans on your feet.
And then
Yeah.
I'll be down there sucking on them toes.
Shay's feet. My feet would
No,
probably
your
guest
feet.
star occasionally.
No,
We
not
want to
your
see.
feet.
No, we want to see your veiny masculine feet
Yeah.
pressing down on the pedal.
We
They
want to
do
see
have
your
a-
little bubble toes.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I had surgery on my feet, so this is very triggering to me. I was in a wheelchair for a brief period because of my feet.
Well, you
So
got better.
This is all very traumatizing for me.
We're
all right.
congratulating you on your feet, though.
Yeah.
I ran 10 miles yesterday.
Exactly.
So, fuck off, world.
So what's your problem?
yeah, made
show
my,
them babies.
I'm hunting down and conquering and eating all of my fears and shortcomings.
Put your feet on Facebook. Put your feet on Facebook.
Shea, listen. I don't think male feet. I guess you know what? We could put my feet up and say they're a woman's feet because I'm much like Peggy Hill. If you have very masculine feet but you're a woman, there's an audience for that.
All right, Shea, you want James to do it? How about you fucking do it?
No,
I've been
I'm
saying
trying
she
to
should
turn
do
it
it.
around so that James does it. I don't
How about
have
how
to
about
hear
we
you
all
guys say
how about
it.
all three of us do it?
Nope.
And then we guest star on each other's feet pages.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, then what the fuck? Then stay in your lane.
Yeah, you can't be making foot comments if you're not going to contribute.
Yeah, what the fuck? Making James whore out his feet while you're willing to just pimp him? You're
I
a
will-
pimp,
I-
This
Shea.
is literally what James has been doing to me.
Yeah, but it's a gender thing.
I don't see you doing anything. What are you talking about?
I've been pushing this for a while on the show that we need to set up some sort of foot porn thing for Shea because people will
Agreed.
respond to that.
I'll do him. How about why not me though? Why am I being left out?
Because people they like one of two kind of feet. They like small, dainty women feet like Shea has, or they like big, crazy feet.
Shea
but those
does not have that.
Do you have big crazy feet?
No,
I have big, crazy feet, but they don't want them from a man. So I could say that I'm Shea, like show my feet and say they're Shea's feet, and it'll be kind of like a Peggy Hill thing. That was an episode of King of the
You
Hill.
would have to shave a little bit.
I would have to shave a little
No,
bit.
you wouldn't.
Oh, are we saying that Shea has hairy feet? She does not have
I
hairy
think
feet.
Shea has hobbit feet.
No, Shea's feet are just fine. Shea's feet are perfect feet. They could generate a lot of income, but she's keeping them to herself.
Man, those feet could really generate some income.
Yeah, they could pay a couple of these bills, keep some of these lights on here.
It's like when some like heavyset girl just blows a fart in your face. You're like, damn, that can really earn some income.
I mean, there are a lot of.
I met
there's
a girl
lot of.
who sold her poop in a bag to people on the internet.
How do
You know what?
ship
One
that?
time I had
I
a
don't know.
girl hire me as protection as she delivered her used underwear to guys who offered her money for them on the internet.
Wow. Well, I mean, good for them.
And because she could they didn't want her to just mail them because then they wouldn't know if they're actually hers.
That's always my feeling with that. It's like, how do I know? Like,
No, they go to their house and hand deliver it to them, and they usually have some muscle with them.
they take them off in front, so at least you know they weren't for a second at least.
You know what? I don't know if she did that or not.
And then those guys were chumps because she could have just been faking it.
Well, I mean, they're simps no matter what. Yeah, they're chumps.
Well, they're
chumps.
simps.
They're chumps whether they're real or not.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, but if they're real, you at least the transaction is transparent, and I'm fine with that.
Just so to fake it, she buys a brand new pair of underwear and just starts slapping it with a fish.
All right. Moving on. I feel like I could get in trouble for this, and Shay's
That way-
already waiting
That
for
way,
this.
it smells authentic.
Shay's already wanting this conversation to move on.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. This may be the earliest that Shea called to just wrap up the show. 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, it's time to wrap it up.
At least it's at a reasonable length now.
Yeah. Oh, so the robot in my rose garden, and we see that all these guys. We also realized, this was something I noticed on a previous episode, where I think it's Brick Wall is the only black member of the squad, and they paint him like green. Like they don't know how to color brown skin.
I think.
Pretty fucked up.
He's the same color as Suicide.
Is he?
Yeah, look, they're the same color.
All right. Well, they're in the shadow of a giant robot, and I think it's just a teaser for what we're in for. It says featuring killer robots, street gangs, Mideastern terrorists, and more.
That's great. I wonder when they're going to show up.
What a selling point.
What year is this from again?
86.
2001.
Then we see Joe Biden introducing some sort of variety act.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
Is that Carson?
It looks like Steve Martin.
Yeah, Carson Martin Biden is introducing the kickers on his show. And
Yeah. They're running to tackle them.
so they're running to kick him in the balls, yeah. As is their side hustle.
So there's Jack Magnaconte and he brought his wife. I guess his wife's part of the Kickers Incorporated.
That's Doll.
too.
Yeah.
I think she's like the secretary, which is pretty fucking insulting, honestly.
Didn't they
Why?
introduce
She's not in
them
the team.
in the last comic we read in a very similar way of like the Johnny Carson, here they are.
Oh, I don't know. The last one we looked at issues 7, 10, and 8 in that order.
You know,
so,
here it says that because like we were discussing earlier about how like they left the Super Bowl to go like commit war crimes and like here Johnny Carson's interviewing them and he's just like it's what they do in the off season.
is that what he says?
Yeah, it says
Been very
Jack,
busy in
I
the
understand
off-season.
you and your friends have been very busy in the off season. That's right, Johnny.
Oh,
we
wow.
formed Kickers Incorporated. He goes, the
Well, this
fuck is that?
before they
Yeah,
left
this is only the
Super
second.
Bowl.
So I think they formed Kickers Incorporated on like the last page of the first issue. So we're really seeing the early seeds of it here.
You know, do you see like Magna Conte on TV and he looks like Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, he does. He wears a neckerchief like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a real man does in case it gets dusty.
This is in the early days before one of the later episodes, later issues where he murders a man on the field
And he does.
On
because he's got
accident.
superpowers. Who cares?
Yeah, he's
got-
not.
Did
Well,
he
Shea,
murder him or paralyze him?
there's rules against steroids.
It's not steroids. It's just pills his brother gave him.
Yeah,
He's been taking all his life.
Established this.
So fucking
It's just
dumb.
crazy because it just means he can win whenever he wants, and he's just been
Yeah.
going easy on everybody.
He does say he does that. He'll exhaust himself before a game so that he's weaker on the field. He's also like he's
poor
a,
wife.
he's a silver fox, and he's clearly like in his 50s. He's a very naive man-child.
And you know, a lot of NFL quarterbacks now are in their 40s.
I wonder if this is the issue where they actually incorporated.
Yeah.
It's so early.
Well, here they got that house, that building they're in.
Yeah, the abandoned Kmart.
Yeah,
with
the
K on
abandoned
side.
Kmart, right?
Oh man, yeah, they hang out in a giant building with a K on the side.
It looks like it used to have the giant Kmart sign, and then they removed it, but that K is like burned into the wall.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. I see that all the time. Yeah. So he's talking about he just jumps out of his car in the middle of traffic. It kind of looks like.
Yep. He's at a parking lot.
Oh, he's in a parking lot. He gets out of his and he goes into the building, which is a bustling office for a business that just started. They've got like
Right.
50 employees.
You know, it takes a lot of courage to like wear white clothes.
After
agree.
Labor Day.
It's just like
At
because
all.
they get so dirty so
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, they do. They do. I go to work exclusively in whites, so I show my job I have no fear.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of you, dirt.
You're the leader. You're the head Power Ranger.
Yeah, yeah. So going back to kickers, so they're in their office. Let's see, what are they looking into here? I guess Brick is knocking heads with their legal department again about something. He's trying to figure out how the new tax laws affect the foundation's tax-exempt status. So I guess they're trying to buck the stereotype and show that this big dude is actually really smart.
It seems like the only reason they're doing this is to not pay taxes. Kind of like the real NFL.
Yeah. Well, all they had to do was just say, hey,
Yeah,
we don't
it's a
feel like
charity,
doing it.
right?
Yeah, the NFL is a
I don't know
non-for-profit.
what it is, but it's a fucking scam is what it is.
Yeah, dude. You're getting
Oh my
entire
God.
city. They're talking about moving the Chicago Bears to like what Hoffman Estates or something.
Yeah, move
like
it to
that.
the fucking moon.
And they're like, yeah. The only way we're gonna do it is if like the city pays for it, like the city they want to move to pays for
my
it. It's like,
God.
what the
I
fuck?
fucking hate this shit. Great, you tie up the entire fucking city
Yeah,
every
they're
couple
moving to
days for
Arlington
4 months
Heights,
or
I
whatever.
think.
Honestly, if they left Chicago, I'd be happy just for the
Yeah.
alleviation of traffic on Sundays.
Yeah, we could do something badass with that stadium instead.
Well, they can't tear that down, really.
Well, they're already doing badass stuff there. Like they're having concerts and shit. They'll transition. That's all it is.
I mean, I want to put in a strip
They
mall.
play other sports there.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
laser tag.
I think the Fire plays there too. The soccer team.
Yeah.
Remember that, James? Huh? Remember the
Yeah,
Chicago
we
Fire?
used to
Remember
work
that?
with we used to work with the Chicago Fire. Yeah, setting up LED walls. It was fucking stupid.
I loved that job.
I mean, whatever. A time
Then
and a
you
place.
go to Portillo's on the way home. Fucking great.
Yeah, yeah. I think we went there with our buddy Art Parker once before.
Yeah, we sure did. The three of us.
So what's doing Dasher? Jack Magna. Is this Magna? No, it's not Magna Conti. That's Suicide, I think.
Well, Suicide's running around like they're doing all this like they're getting on their costumes. They're like, that costume looks fucking lame, dude. And he goes, nah, it's got lots of pockets.
Yeah, he looks super Miami Vice.
Yeah, so he's just
James,
wandering around looking
you
for
missed
a
out
gym.
throwing sound clips from that crazy ass scary Suicide song. Johnny.
Oh, Frankie Teardrop.
Frankie Teardrop.
If you want to have a good time, go listen
No.
to go at 2 a.m. Go
Nope.
put on your headphones and listen to Suicide's Frankie Teardrop. Have yourself a
No.
great time,
All right, I will do that.
It is-
I like making my depression worse.
dude. It is.
It will.
I'll be completely honest here, and I don't feel good about saying this. This isn't something I would normally admit, but the song is so fucking terrifying that I think it's actually justified. It's like I was listening to it at 2 a.m. one day, and I actually had to. It's like a 12-minute song. I had to stop midway through because it was so horrifying.
It's
And I
a
had to-
12-minute song, so it's like Dragon Force.
Yeah, it's like if you've ever heard Suicide, it's like droney, almost Kraftwerky, metronomic stuff, but the guy is just screaming just bloody murder horror on top of it, and it's his screams are so terrifying and so authentic that it literally sounds like he's being murdered while he's recording it, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
It's too much.
I can't do it, and I've never heard it.
It's really hard. It was really tough, and I played it for Shée while we were driving in the midday, and it was still pretty terrifying.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a bop.
It is. It's pretty good. It's a good one. So yeah, people go listen to Frankie Teardrop.
So
My favorite
Suicide's
song.
like, not a chance, pal. You and Brick can handle that desk jockey jazz.
Yeah, he's gonna. I got some walls to lean against.
Yeah, so he's gonna go look for a gym, but what he finds is Magna Conte lifting the two
Ridiculous.
washing machines on a pole.
You know, he was waiting there for somebody to come in the doorway.
He's like, oh yeah, he's like right in front of the door too. He goes, oh, didn't see you there.
I didn't think someone was coming in. I thought
yeah.
I'd close that door.
What if they're like two empty
What's
cardboard
up, bro?
boxes?
Yes, they're props.
And he just drew Kirby dots on them to make them look like they're some kind of unreasonable weight.
He drops it and it flutters down like two feathers.
Yeah, he's a fake waiter. He's a fake natty.
All right. He's wearing the belt. He's wearing a lifting belt.
He's wearing a
Well, this is-
WWE championship.
This is the start, it says, though, of him having issues wearing himself out before stuff.
Yes. He has to push himself real hard.
He's like right now. He's lifting these giant wash machines. He's like, yeah, sorry, I had to get this special dumbbell because I couldn't. All your pussy weights just weren't doing it for me. You gonna have a workout right now? You gonna go work out with those weights?
I broke all the weights.
Sorry about my giant weight taking up so much space.
God, I'm so bulky.
I'm just so much stronger than you.
Suicide left like 2 minutes ago. He's still
Right?
talking.
And he's like, and unfortunately, he's wearing white pants, so you can see that he shit his pants.
Yeah, and Mike's mom had to come clean it up.
And my mom's just like, oh my god.
Shit.
She's like, I want to retire, but then she has then she starts thinking about my dad, and she's just
Hang out
like,
with
oh.
Never mind. Another
me the
10 years,
shit.
I guess. I'll be dead soon anyway. Who cares?
That's like everyone's attitude right now. Like people my age, like whenever I bring up like, what are you gonna do in the future? They're like, I don't care. I'm gonna be dead.
We literally, like an hour before we started recording, I was editing the Batman episode, the last episode, and we were having this same conversation. In that.
Were we really?
Yeah, we're having the same.
I'm
I was
pretty-
talking about how I wanted to get in a horrible car wreck when I was going to work when I was 20
Oh
years old.
yeah.
Just anything to get out of it.
Yep.
So Suicide's just leaving Man Conte saying, what a fucking jackass. And he sees a red light goes off.
And he's like, "Oh, red light!" And he starts
Oh,
clapping.
shit.
He starts clapping his hands and doing that thing where he like kicks the back of his feet out from behind him, and he's just like, "Oh,
And that's the sign to all the kickers that it's time to get together because they've got a case.
yeah, we got a case."
Yeah. So they go out and they see this old lady who saw them on the Carson show.
Yep, and they burst through the door and start kicking the shit out of her nuts.
Yep. Well, that's their like signature thing.
He was like,
Right.
hey, Magna Conte, she ain't got no nuts.
And so they show up, and this old lady is showing them her yard, which seems to have been destroyed. Trying to figure out what happened here.
She goes,
Her rose
I
garden
think
was
it's
destroyed.
the neighbor's dog, and I want you to punt it into space.
I think we all know what old white people think are responsible for all the problems in their neighborhood. I'm not going to say it, but we all know what they're thinking.
We don't know if she's white.
Is she not white? Yeah, we don't really get a good look at her. That's odd.
No, she looks Eastern European.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
She should be smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, in the 80s, everyone was smoking.
Yeah, everyone in
cigarettes.
this whole comic should just have cigarettes.
We should go back and edit that in. Put every cigarette in every panel and every
God
mouth.
damn it.
Get to work.
Fuck,
coming up
dude.
soon.
So, like, every fucking panel, they put cigarettes.
So I guess she told people that a monster came in, like a robot monster with tire treads came in and destroyed her prize-winning rose garden.
Like the things in Star Wars, she says.
and,
so this lady has seen Star Wars.
Yeah, everyone has.
Yeah, it's 1986. Yeah.
No, the writer did. He was just like, yeah, old ladies have seen Star Wars.
Well, in fairness, Marvel had the rights to Star Wars, I believe, at this
I
time as
see what
well.
they're
So they didn't
doing.
want to, a little synergy. It's just like me showing up with my feet on Shea's foot videos.
So they turn to Magna Conte, they pull him to the side, and they go, hey, Magna Conte, does this fucking matter? I mean, is this something we're supposed to do? Is this what you were thinking when we went on Johnny Carson to start this group? Because I thought we were just supposed to direct people to the proper authorities.
This lady has $200 to her name. What is the fucking point of this?
He goes, what's the point of anything, bro?
And then he walks off. He gets all wistful and walks off.
Yeah, that's what happens. They're
the
like,
hell?
Suicide's just like, I can't even. But then he finds a red fist sticker in the ground.
It's a pretty cool sticker.
Yeah,
I put that on my Trapper Keeper in high
He's
school.
like, hey guys, look what I found.
It looks like a hand. Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
He's like, all right.
And I guess their truck also has a big K on the side.
He said, hey, Suicide. Says here, Suicide, why don't you? He goes, why don't you guys wear your? This one guy's like, why don't you all wear these jumpsuits that they had him made? He's like, bro, you look ridiculous.
Oh wow, yeah, one of them did wear a
Yeah.
jumpsuit. Yeah.
He's the only one who wore it. The guy
He's
who
the
was getting
only one.
tailored. The rest of them just like, we don't need to do that. We could put on our normal clothes.
Yeah. Suicide says, yeah, we've got other more important things to worry about, like this rose garden. Think about that.
Yeah, we gotta figure out who destroyed this lady's rose garden, guys. He's like, I gotta
yeah.
train for the multi-million-dollar football team I'm on.
Yeah, we're in the NFL. Did you guys not realize that?
I'll tell you what, fellas, we're gonna get right down to the bottom of this here rose garden.
If it takes us all god dang week.
Bobby, you need to learn the importance of your civic duty.
So they think that the sticker, which I guess is a patch, the sticker with the fist on it, they think is a patch of a local street gang. So they're going to look into this.
So they go to this football team just one of them's dressed like a superhero, the other one's not. Go into a police station and they just throw the sticker at him. They're going, "Hey man, we think this is something to do with destroying some old lady's garden."
He says, okay.
The cop's just like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait a minute, this old lady called you guys instead of us? Like, why'd she do
Wait,
that?"
yeah.
Well,
You
this
guys-
old lady's rose garden was vandalized. Did she say by who? By a robot.
You guys need to back this way up. So you're in the NFL. Let's start there. I'm realizing how absurd this is that they went into the police department and just unloaded this on some guy at a desk.
He's just like, "Why didn't she call us?"
What the fuck is this?
And there's like, "Hey guys, like, there's no giant robots destroying old ladies' gardens." And then Magna Conte goes, "This fucking cop isn't taking this seriously."
Where do you keep your robots? You show me the robots.
That's what they're doing. They're going around town, demanding people tell them if they know about.
What do you know about robots?
Hey, what do you know about robots? And they have like the Robbie the robot with them because they're football players and they can afford that.
They got this picture of this cashier. We'll have to put this on YouTube or something.
Ooh.
And his head, he's got like
that's
E.T.'s
not
head
How, yeah. Oh,
And it's
that's
all
not how humans work.
twisted around backwards.
Dude, he looks like he's like an alien pretending to be a guy.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's got a regular old
What if-
working Joe's job.
What if that's just happening in the background? The background of the story is like there's aliens are on Earth and they're just trying to make a living, and the football and
Yeah.
the New York Smashers just keep interacting with them and no one realizes it.
That was going to be the 13th issue. It was going to tie it all together.
Yeah, they're like, "Well,
Wait, isn't that pretty much the plot of Men in Black?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It is. And at the end of this comic, there's going to be a Will Smith rap.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope it's named Kickers Incorporated. Is the name
Yeah,
of
of
the
course
song.
it's called Kickers Incorporated.
He's not going to spend some extra time coming up with an original title.
Holy shit.
There's a title right there.
Maybe
What song does it sample?
maybe
Wild Wild West.
we can convert this into a Marvel movie and we can get Will Smith to play Magna Conte.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't want to hire a white man to play Magna Conte.
No, we want Will Smith to do it because
We
he'll
want
do
Will
the Will
Smith.
Smith rap. He's the
Yep.
star. He's going to be the star of the movie.
But I still want him to wear a white wig and look
No.
like Magna Conte.
No, I just have it be Will Smith and just have his wife just be cucking him the whole movie.
Oh, well, they do have a problematic relationship. Not because it's open or whatever it is, but because it's just problematic.
You know what? I think it's a work.
Nobody, I think we said this before, because you think everything's a work. Nobody looks good in this scenario. It doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't
Why would
make
it be a
any
work?
sense. Why?
Because they're celebrities, so they're crazy. They do crazy shit.
They're also actors.
Yes, but this doesn't help
Like
their
that
careers.
Johnny Depp trial. That shit wasn't real.
Again, nobody comes off looking good in any of this. It's not helping any of their careers. Why would it be a work?
No one's getting fired, and everyone's talking about him.
Amber Heard has basically been fired.
From what?
From everything. She's been reduced to maybe a couple minutes in Aquaman, if that, and she won't be
She
hired
was a
again.
couple minutes in the first one. That movie sucked.
She was in half the fucking movie, and she was supposed to be in more of this movie, and they cut her down. She might not even end up in the final cut.
How is her character still slathered in makeup after being in the water for that long?
She's not human. These are dumb questions.
I hate that when they put like super makeup on people when they're like
There's
there's no
waterproof makeup.
It doesn't. Well, why would she be? Why would it?
She wants to look good.
Fuck, man. All
Look,
right.
You got to look good no matter where you are. If you're on trial, you're underwater, you got to look good. Anyway, speaking of looking good, the Kickers are taking a walk, strutting down New York, maybe? Yeah, they're in New York.
Yep, and one of the street gangs looks like they don't like the fact that they've been going around and talking to the local establishments.
You talking
yeah.
to old ladies in our turf?
Yeah. You asking about the robots?
You asking about gardens, rose gardens? And he tosses a cigarette at him.
Then this guy shows up, and the graffiti on the wall says Babyface, so maybe that's the character's name.
Yep, we'll just call him Babyface from now on.
Sure, So Babyface, they confront Babyface, and they're like, hey, someone's harassing old women, and he goes, so? He's with the Broken Laws, or the Broken Skulls. That's the name of the gang. Their gang.
He got 2 feathers on his earring.
Yeah, because he's Native American.
Because he's double fancy.
Yeah.
So I guess the Broken Skulls think they protect the neighborhood, but the Smashers don't think they're doing a very good job of protecting it.
But they're just like, hey, you know what though? Here's our card. You just give us a call if you see any robots.
Yeah, we're actually quite friendly.
Yeah,
We've got a cool headquarters.
Yeah.
Really nice gym.
Used to be that Kmart.
All the weights are broken from fucking Magna Conte, but you can still hang out
Yeah, from raging out and just throwing them through the wall.
with his crazed steroid freakouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want a drink or something, we won't tell. It'll totally be cool.
So they find a condemned building.
Yeah, but we know that because it says so.
It says well, in fairness, real condemned buildings do say condemned.
I don't know. I've had some apartments that were.
They should have been
Yeah.
condemned. Somebody stole the sign.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't condemned. So I guess they find some flop house. They're like, yeah, this is probably where they're keeping the robots.
They go to the flop house and they're like, oh, this will be fine. They close the door behind them, but it tips over because it was condemned.
And so they go in, and I guess some dudes are hanging out there that are possibly CIA.
Oh,
What's
you
going
know
on
what?
here?
These are the Middle Eastern terrorists, I bet.
Oh,
I bet they showed up finally.
Finally, we're a third through the book. We finally get to see some terrorism.
Look how serious that guy is about Muhammad.
Yeah, he doesn't want. He heard somebody was making some inflammatory depictions of Muhammad.
He's like, I've heard that Americans wipe their butt with the Quran.
That
He's
was
like,
maybe.
Did you read about that somewhere? I can't read.
That was maybe my favorite era of South Park when they were fucking with Comedy Central about depictions of the Prophet Muhammad.
That was
Oh,
great.
yes.
And they kept fucking with him, and Comedy Central kept going, dude, will you please stop doing this?
No.
And then, no.
I really
no.
just enjoy when they but call out, like, I've seen him, because there was an episode where they showed him.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I've
Super
seen the
Best
episode where
Friends.
they showed, yeah.
And then I believe it turned out that the actual rule of the law isn't that you can't depict them, you just have to depict them in positive lights. Like, you can't necessarily depict them in a negative way, but I don't know.
Well, he's on South Park. That's not very negative.
Well, his
Big
first
deal.
appearance is pretty positive.
Yeah, right.
So they're talking to these guys.
Oh, I
these Middle
see.
Eastern terrorists.
They think the kickers are the CIA.
Okay, yeah, okay.
They're like, who are these football
guess.
guys running around? Are those the New York Smashers? Nah, they got to be the CIA. Why would they be the CIA?
I don't know any
Why
6'7"
would they be
CIA
the
guys.
New York Smashes, Tony?
Why do we have New York accents? We're Middle Eastern terrorists.
They're a famous football team. I recognize them.
That's Jack Magna Conte. Jack Magna fucking Conte.
He's here in our flop house.
He's running around asking about our robot.
It's the dumbest fucking comic book. All right. So I guess they're sort of gobbling up all the neighborhood gangs. Someone is.
I know. For some reason, my brain, as soon as you said like they're just gobbling up, I finished in my head like gobbling up all their asses.
Yep. It's a very
Mike,
ass-centric
why?
episode.
I don't know.
Why did you jump that?
That's where my brain went.
Mike's mom has really got ass on the brain, and just that's what Mike inherited. That
It's part of who I am.
Mike's mom probably went into that job because she was naturally predisposed to think about asses all the time.
Because
so she found a job
because she kept getting arrested for it, and so the judge
make your job.
The judge sentenced her to being an ass gobbler at a hospital. And she just never left.
It's like when all those pedophiles just decide to become priests.
Yeah.
Like, well,
That's
now if I
why
just
she
do this,
won't
it's fine.
retire, Mike.
Yeah.
Because when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
I just
She
love
loves
asses so
and she
much.
loves not talking to my dad.
I love avoiding my husband and looking at the prolapsed anuses of 70-year-old men.
Yep. Better than just quietly watching TV.
And hearing socialist nonsense from Mike's dad.
Fuck. You know what? He's a goddamn shitlib now.
I mean, it's a slippery slope.
Nah, fuck that dude, coward.
It is. And so I don't know what happened. Someone gets thrown through a wall, Kool-Aid Man style.
Yep.
Oh, no. So I guess all of these various factions that I can't keep track of are fighting, but the fight is interrupted by what seems to be the robot bursting through the wall. Mm-hmm. But then we cut back to Kickers Incorporated headquarters, so we don't know what happened just yet.
Which it looks like
And
it's
they have a buffet?
it looks like a radiator.
It looks like a radiator with a K on the side, and apparently, they're having a buffet.
Yeah, right. They're a
It
football
just makes
team.
me think of the Naperville building. There's a building
yeah?
in a suburb here in Illinois.
Napertucky.
That Napertucky. And it is in the shape of an N.
Do they all live together here? Is this what they do for dinner every night?
It's like the writer seems to think that they're just going to eat like they're in a private box.
Yeah.
You know, during in the stadium where there's like buffets.
Yeah, there's definitely some shrimp and cocktail sauce.
You know, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's how they live. And
And-
Brick Wall has the biggest sandwich in the world.
He has a giant sandwich. He says, maybe we could just buy her some new rose bushes. And the rest of the team says, you fucking idiot. How is that going to solve anything?
And the owner comes in and goes, what the fuck have you guys been doing? I'm watching Johnny Carson with my wife, and all of a sudden, I see my football team telling me that they're going to go around and solve society's problems?
I look like an asshole at last night's game when they started the calls and no one walked out onto the field.
I got shareholders, I got advertisement execs breathing down my neck going, what the hell's going on?
You didn't clear any of this. You stole a building. How much did that fucking K cost to put on the side?
Or take down.
Yeah, whatever they did. So they have a moment where they think about how bad it is that she's probably lived there for 30 years and she's having her rose garden destroyed.
Notice how, like, the guy in the beginning of the comic who was getting his costume tailored has yet to take it off.
Yeah, well, he's really trying to sell this
He
costume
wasn't
to
getting
the
it
rest of the team.
tailored. He was getting sewn into it.
Yeah, he's getting poured into it, if you ask me.
Telling you guys, it really loosens up after a couple days.
They're like,
Do you
"Hey,
not
guys."
take it off?
He goes, hey, guys, I bet you it was those fucking broken skulls, and we should go break some skulls ourselves.
No, the Broken Skulls call them and say, we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they probably will. Yeah, they do. They say, hey, can you come down to our flop house? I know we gave you shit, but now we need your help in your perfectly pressed white uniforms.
And they
Yeah.
they walk in looking like the artist had that little mannequin guy you can use to
I had one of those. Yeah.
draw human forms,
Yeah.
but he wasn't very creative about how to pose them all.
Yeah, they all have the same knee bend.
Like Magna Conte looks like he's about to fall flat on his face.
Yep.
It looks like he's doing the lean back or like the weekend at Bernie's. Or he's starting to.
Yeah, he's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind.
It's like they're all just bouncing back and forth.
And so they go, what the fuck happened to your wall? Why did you put a sheet over the giant hole in the wall?
He's like, don't tell him nothing.
You guys called us.
I like how Magna Conte's wife puts a bandana like on to look tough.
Yeah, well, that's her
That's a
superhero
sweatband.
uniform.
She's like, I'm on the football team.
I'm part of the team too.
Black Canary did the same thing.
Oh, well, good for her.
Like, all right,
Thinking,
kickers, let's go deal with the broken skulls. And she goes, and I'm coming too. He's like, yeah, all right, I guess that's fine.
Well, you're my wife. I'm not gonna say no.
I mean, that's
Why
his
are
job.
you being so clingy?
She's like, I'm a girl boss, and I can take care of myself.
And then she whistles at them for some reason.
You know, I think it's more like Madakana is talking to them, and she's just behind him and goes, that's right. She's like his hype man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the Flava Flav to his Chuck.
Hoo yeah.
Hoo yeah. We don't have the Peggy. So.
I fell asleep. I said I was going to send
Yeah, that
James
didn't
to
happen.
Hoo yeah, and I fell asleep.
So they're like, all right, so apparently somebody burst into your headquarters and something bad's going on, and why don't you show us where this big metal monster is?
He goes, you mean a robot? He goes, yeah, the big
No,
metal
I think
monster. He goes, yeah, it's a robot.
Well,
like
it's just a robot.
Like I'm an NFL quarterback. I've seen it all.
Yeah. I've seen robots before.
Just bring me to the robot.
And so they go into the sewers.
Yep.
All right. I guess this is all happening down underground.
And then they all get really sick because you're not supposed to go down there.
Yeah, and what's his name doesn't want to go in the water because it's going to mess up his white uniform.
Yeah, and he like has like cologne in one of his pockets. It looks like they keep for emergencies.
Yeah.
Just
He
in
has
case.
emergency cologne,
He's like, see, if you guys wore your uniforms, you'd have
which
pockets.
comes
and
out
shit.
like mace.
He even says, too bad you didn't wear your uniform.
Yeah.
This guy is really proud of his shit.
Yeah.
Selling that uniform.
I'm so his cologne. Like, if he shot even himself in order to apply that, you would. It hurt.
I think it's great.
What if it's just like nitrous oxide? And he's just taking whippet hits as he's down there.
They move this hunk of concrete that's, I guess, holding a secret entrance, and Magna Conte can do it because he's super roided out of his mind.
You guys ever do that? You ever go to like a jam show and there's a guy like giving out hits with nitrous oxide?
No.
There is no part of that sentence that would apply to Shea's life. So Shée was going down to the local fucking Spin Doctors concert, the 3-hour-long fucking jam concert.
Yeah, some
And
guy,
she's like-
this guy has a tank of nitrous oxide rolling up on 2 wheels. Hey, lady, you want a hit?
You know what would really kick this up a notch?
She's like, yep.
Let's do it. Magna Conte.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a quick question? And it's
Well,
not
the
an
Spin
ask a
Doctors
deep
were a
question.
great band in the 90s. They had a lot of big hits and a lot of long.
you.
All right. Well, anyway, go ahead.
What's the point of doing a hit of nitrous? Nitrous wears off in like no time at all.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
you
matter.
do a hit and you like feel it for like 2 seconds and then it's
You feel like kind of like loopy for a little bit, but like, yeah, you're right. You have to just keep doing it.
Wasn't that what kids in the 70s were doing? They would go into like grocery stores and they do like whippets with the
cream?
the whipped cream and just get that quick
that's
buzz off the
still
whipped
a
cream.
thing.
Yeah.
Why do you
Or
think it's
du-
called a whip?
Or
hit?
or duster.
You guys want to go do that?
You
I guess
really should.
I'm
The
just
high you're
asking if you
feeling,
guys wanna do it, really.
The high you're feeling is your brain cells dying.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's some of the bad ones. There's a few I could definitely stand to lose. I don't need all of these.
I think I have so few left.
Yeah.
I get nitrous at my dentist.
Yeah, it's because you're a pussy.
Yeah, it is.
Pussy.
Shea has a complex relationship with dentists.
I treat going to the dentist like a test of endurance, and to like show like nothing that is happening to me affects me.
Yeah, and you fail it every time.
Oh fuck no!
I
I say
actually
I'm a
haven't-
good boy.
I haven't gone to. Okay, so you're going to a child dentist, all right?
When you said
you
child
have-
dentist, I imagine a child who's my dentist.
It's both.
Doogie
It's,
Howser.
it's dentistry for children by children.
Open your mouth.
They got those big play school colorful tools that they just shove in there.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
great.
Gen Zs these days, they don't even want to be child dentists. They just want to be on their TikTok.
Yep, they just want to look at that.
Eat
They
hot
want to.
chip and be bisexual.
Yep, they just want to
Yeah,
look
right.
at videos of other child dentists.
All right, and they're all questioning their gender
Yeah.
instead of being my dentist.
That's the only gender you need to worry about is dentist.
Yeah,
Stop
is
worrying about your gender and start worrying about cavities.
Yeah, the only pronoun I want to hear from you is doctor.
So, wait a minute. Something stupid just happened. So Magna Conte rips this cover off the wall, and they start crawling in. And then one of the other Kickers Inc. says, and I'm quoting this, he says, "How come you so strong?"
No, that's the Skull's gang leader. That's
Okay, then why
Babyface.
does Babyface say, "How come you so strong"?
Because that's because he saw him rip the thing off the wall.
Is this a child gang?
He's probably like 15.
Yeah, I
speaks-
would say they're like maybe 15 to 20.
Yeah, and
Okay,
Magna
all
Conte
right.
says, he like chuckles and goes, "Yeah, clean living, aka pills for my brother."
Yeah.
he's just throwing down pills
As he
as
just pops
says that.
one.
Yeah. But that seems
goes-
fine.
Then he
The guy looks at me and
flexes.
is like, yeah, how come you're so strong?
Then he flexes at the guy like he's Ronnie Coleman's ass.
He flicks some of his pills at Babyface's head.
He's like, "Oh yeah," just like bragging. He's always bragging and like popping his veins out of his body. Just so strong.
Everyone's sitting behind him in this tunnel because it's not big enough for them to get around. So they
They're
just sit
like,
and wait for
"Hey,"
him to be done.
They're like, "Hey Jack, like let us help you with like moving that giant rock." He goes, "No, I got it."
He does a posing routine in the sewers.
Yeah, right. He's just showing off his buys and tries.
You know, it's like 2 a.m. We have a game tomorrow. We finish this stupid Rose fucking whatever we're doing and
Like,
get
"It's
on
a
with our
new
lives.
game."
It's a new. You need to sleep 8 hours, you fucking pussy.
Yeah, that's something my dad would say.
I sleep 17 minutes a day. So they end up in the basement of Fist headquarters.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, bro. And then they hear the sounds of people just fisting each other.
Yep. That's why they call themselves that. It's just a
Do
friendly
you think
club.
This is a reference in the same way as like the foot, the hand.
I would like to
Oh,
believe that,
yeah.
but I'd like to believe it, but let's.
Oh, wait,
face
this
it,
is Marvel
no.
Comics. The hand
Yeah.
is Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
So it's
it
probably
could
the
be.
same thing.
This is the same members of the hand when they get a little more aggressive.
No, but this is the new universe.
Fist.
There's no like Spider-Man in this, is there?
Yeah. There's no superheroes, and there's supposedly no superpowers. Although they gave up on that immediately.
Well, the thing that's realistic about this is the one guy with superpowers figured out that, hey, I can make a living being a football player.
Yeah. But then he also decided, well, I should also be a superhero. I can't just be a football player.
Right? He's like
Stupid.
Bruce Willis in Unbreakable.
Yeah, I'd waste my potential here.
Y'all ever see that movie?
No, actually, I never
Unbreakable
bothered
with
to see
Bruce Willis?
Unbreakable.
It's really good.
Nah,
I like
kinda hate
Unbreakable a lot.
Bruce Willis. No, I kind of want nothing to do with Bruce Willis.
This is a good ass movie. Quit being a snob.
That guy's an asshole.
So's Mel Gibson. That guy's made some of the best movies of all time.
I've not watched Apocalypto.
That movie's so good. You're crazy.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen The Passion? The Passion of
I
the
actually have
Christ?
seen The Passion of the Christ. I thought it was like a sort of an alternative to getting baptized. I thought if I saw that movie, it was the equivalent of getting baptized.
You know what, James? That's actually like being baptized 50 times.
Oh, good.
So
I'm
you know
fine.
what? You know what, James? I think you're in.
I sat through most of it.
Oh, you're out.
I
You
just
have-
remember the
the only way for it to count is that you have to get on one of those bus charters that they did, with all the Christians to go see it.
I remember the final scene. I'm pretty sure I got this right. The final scene is him, like I guess returning in the tomb, and then like rolling the stone away, and we just see him like triumphantly walking out of the tomb. But it's shot like a superhero movie. Like this was his origin story, and now he's fucking he's Iron Man now. It was really weird.
He comes out and he just goes Shazam,
Yes.
and he gets the power or Yahweh, and he gets the powers of God,
yeah.
and each letter of Yahweh means
It was
something.
it was a backdoor
I'd
Black
much
Adam
rather that
prequel.
he says it, lightning comes down, and then he turns into like an 8-year-old boy.
What would be funnier, Yahweh or Jehovah? He yells like Jehovah.
I mean, I once went to a Jehovah's Witness convention.
Went
they-
or worked?
Went.
Attended.
I attended it, and it was it was in like the same arena where they have the monster truck rallies, and they were really adamant that like don't leave anything on your seats because we are open to the public. Wink, wink, and people might steal your shit. Like they were really paranoid about non-Jehovah's Witnesses stealing stuff from them. Like they have anything good.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I want your copy of fucking Lighthouse or Kingdom or where the fuck your paper is.
Right. I do.
Stupid. Yeah, there's some good articles in there for sure. You ever guys ever read those newspapers that the homeless people hand out?
No,
What's in there?
No, I'm too busy spitting on them, and they have to use the newspapers to wipe off the spit.
What's going on in Streetwise? Are there good stories in that?
Pretty generic local articles usually.
I bet you they're all just like, being homeless is terrible.
Squirrels took my brain. I mean, there's a lot of what?
They're probably if they you know what though, if they don't start off crazy, the streets for sure have to make you crazy.
Of course, I'm not saying that any of this is acceptable.
I don't know how there's homeless people in Chicago because like most of the year you can't live outside.
Right. Well, there's a lot of coves and little areas that you can hide out in.
Can you imagine that freezing
No.
constantly?
That's pretty terrible.
It's almost like that. You think that would motivate them to get a job?
It's almost like we should do something about this.
Yeah. It's like this thing I've been talking about this whole time.
That's society for you.
We're living in a society.
What happened to the other society? Like, why do we keep using
I had
George?
a Homer one.
Yeah, what happened to Homer?
I only have 16 buttons per page.
I'm gonna find you all new societies.
They can't just be saying society. They have to be saying we're living in a society or something very close.
Oh, come on. Don't be so rigid.
Just anybody saying society?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. So anyway.
Like that movie, Society. Y'all ever see that movie?
No. Was this another Bruce Willis movie directed by Mel Gibson?
Yeah. Yep. When
are they going to get together and do a little something?
I don't know. They can
now. So anyway, they're bursting into Fist headquarters, right? And they drop in and some things happen and some words are exchanged.
Yeah, they all just get their guns pointed at them.
Yeah,
well, those are the terrorists
Fist.
pointing the guns at them.
We assumed
right?
the terrorists. We were promised Middle Eastern terrorists, and we still don't know.
Are the Middle Eastern terrorists the Fist? Are they the same group?
We guess so. One guy
Fists are universal.
Like the most Arab-looking guy is the dude on Kickers who loves his uniform.
Okay, maybe what's happening here is that the Fist is a gang.
Mm-hmm.
They are buying a weapons cache from the terrorists.
Okay.
That might be happening.
Okay.
But I have not been reading close enough to determine.
That's fine. Well, Magna Conte looks at them. He gives them that steely look, and he says this.
Magna Conte is going to the Super Bowl of kicking your ass.
And sure enough.
That was good.
Oh, wait, no, actually, it doesn't happen. He makes a lot of empty threats, and then he gets bitch slapped and falls on the ground.
Well, I think he realizes, because he allows himself to get handcuffed because he can just break the handcuffs, right?
Did he allow him? Okay, I guess he
he just let all this happen because it's like he knows he's going to be fine, and so they all pile him on. It looks like they all pile on him, and they're like, "Now we're going to fist you in the ass."
He's stacking the deck against himself.
He just landed. Goes, "Oh no."
Nope. That's not the road we're going down for Magna Conte.
Nope. And he goes, "I'm not gay," and then punches them all off of him. His homophobia saved him.
He does do that. He punches them all off of himself. So I guess he sandbagged himself just to make a bigger deal of it, just to show off.
Yep.
And then they start getting in a fight, and Mr. Clean Suit has a nice little left jab.
Yeah,
Good
just
jab
pops
there.
him.
Yeah, just pops him. And a lot of words are exchanged during this fight.
Yes.
Like an anime.
Yeah. And he says, maybe we should give him a chance to surrender, but that doesn't stop the fighting.
Nope.
We do have them outnumbered 5 to 50, he says.
See, they're the fist. The one guy's got a jacket that shows that.
Oh, so this is related to, well, this is they're wearing jackets that have the same logo that they found at the Rose Garden.
And Mrs. Magna Conte does a judo throw, and she goes, "Hoo yeah!"
Yeah. She does take down 2 guys at once. I have to say, she's being pretty efficient here.
She her battle cry is vagina.
She probably knew that people were saying she wasn't pulling her weight, and so she's coming in hard now.
Yeah, right? See, she pulls her weight. She's doing great. She's better than Suicide, always complaining. That guy, because we had later issues, Suicide is complaining constantly.
Suicide is?
Yeah, he's always saying I'm too cool for this, and then walking away out on his own. He does that in every issue.
Oh, he's that guy.
That guy
He's the
sucks.
Raphael.
No, Raphael's cooler than this bitch.
Well, Raphael's cool but rude.
Yep. It says so in the song.
I'm not going to go against the song. I'm not a fool.
You know what, guys? If either of you go against the song, I'm quitting right now.
The guy that created 2.5 Men and all those shows wrote the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song.
That show is
that
brilliant. I don't know.
Something Laurie? What's his name?
Chuck.
Chuck Laurie? Yeah, Chuck Laurie. So Magna Conte leaps on a dude and he cracks his spine.
Yep.
Murders
Actually,
him.
what happens is the guy, he jumps onto the dude and he shoots him in the stomach. But turns out Magna Conte is bulletproof.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm a superhuman freak.
Well, nobody knew that. Even he didn't know.
He even says after he shoots him, he refers to Magna Conte as American. So yeah, these are our terrorists.
Yep.
Yeah. Although I guess nothing's keeping me from calling other people American. It's just
Dude, Magna Conte punches him so hard he shattered his jaw, and look how horrific
Yeah.
this guy's face is now.
Yeah.
no longer-
blood though.
so his bottom jaw is just hanging loose.
Dude, he turned him into one of the Martian Muppets from Sesame Street.
He does say,
The yip, yip,
yes,
yip, 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 yip,
Those terrified me as a kid.
That
Oh,
makes
really?
sense.
Aliens are scary.
They look like they're fun to touch. They look like scrotums.
Yeah,
They do have, like,
do.
they do have
look
ball
like fucking
skin.
scrotums.
They have ball skin bodies. Yep,
And I take it. You think scrotums are fun to touch?
Yeah,
Yes.
scrotums are really
Okay.
fun. I touch mine all the time.
Well, what's fun about the scrotum is it changes shape and consistency. It changes a lot.
When I'm
and
sitting
other
around-
parts of your body don't.
When I'm sitting around watching TV, Shée, my hand drifts from my scrotum to
Mm-hmm,
my left nipple often.
Sometimes the
Why
scrotum.
left?
Because it's my right hand.
Yeah, it's right hand. You want to cross. You want to do a seatbelt maneuver there.
Play with the little hairs around it, like
Yeah.
my scrotum.
Sometimes the scrotum, it kind of shrivels up if it's cold, and it kind of gets like a turtle shell kind of thing going. But sometimes it's just hanging loose.
Next time I'm playfully having a sexual encounter with a lady, I'm going to pull my ball sack and do the Sesame Street Martian voice.
Yep.
Mike, do you want to have sex?
Mike. If you talk about not being able to have fuck buddies anymore, we're gonna just replay this to you.
Yeah. That'll get me a fuck buddy just from that. Some girls listen, she's like, that sounds fun.
They love that. They do love that.
What a playful guy.
So here's a little tip that I realized years ago when I first came to Chicago. I had this giant, gaudy gold couch, and I needed to get rid of it because it was ridiculous. And
It
I
was
put
solid gold and it weighed too much.
Yeah, it was a little gaudy, and I put it up on Craigslist or whatever, and I got a lot of like hipster women who probably wanted it because it fit sort of that aesthetic. And I realized that if you're a lonely guy and you're looking to get dates with hipster girls, go buy a bunch of shit from thrift stores and then sell it as if it's your own property on Craigslist and just meet the women that way.
That's
Because they're gonna want to come buy your crap.
That's probably a good idea.
So
Yeah.
get a date and get paid for it?
Yeah, but then you gotta date
Well-
some hipster chick.
Well, you get stuff for whatever matches the aesthetic of the kind of woman or man that you're trying to get.
James, it's terrible advice. The advice you should be giving them is like, guys, you're gonna find the woman for the rest of your life at your local church.
Well, I mean, that's more of a settle down thing.
Marriable and breedable.
Yeah, big birth and hips. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Don't have one of that. I mean, I was young. I didn't quite accept Christ yet.
But now that you have, since you saw Mel Gibson's
I haven't seen the
magnum
Passion
opus,
yet. Yeah, now that I've seen the Passion, I've accepted that all I care about is wide hips.
after he's seen the Passion, he then saw the love of the Holy Spirit.
Well, it's the eternal love. You ever feel just kind of disgusted with yourself and you're like, man, I bet I would feel a lot better if I were a Christian right now. You ever have that moment?
As someone who was raised Christian and was one, I'm going to tell you right now, that does not happen.
It may not be the case, it may not be true, but sometimes I'll be standing around just being disgusted with my whole existence, and I'll go like, dude, I bet if I straightened up right now, at least sometimes I'd feel pretty good about myself.
If you're like miserable and you're like, I'm a fucking loser, and you believe in God, you're a loser who believes in God.
Not saying a fucking loser. I'm just saying just the sort of degenerate world that most of us live in.
Not mine. Mine's pretty good.
No,
Pretty
you
pure.
live in a degenerate world.
I mean,
for
there
sure.
are times where my right hand is drifting from my scrotum to my left nipple,
Right, and then up to your mouth. Yeah, it kind of the Holy Trinity there.
and I am using my scrotum to play Sesame Street.
To play
Life is
Sesame
pretty
Street.
good for Mike.
Sounds pretty great. Sounds like I went pretty far without God.
Yeah, and they got Oscar the Grouch around the back door.
What if I die and I go to St. Peter, right, and they like, read me my sins? And I'm like, I didn't need you then, and I don't fucking need you now.
Yeah, and you just
No.
sashay right past the gates. Yeah.
Fuck
Mike,
yeah. I'm not
I
going where
want-
they tell me to go.
Mike, I want you to have a dream about the scrotum doing it itself and then Jesus showing up and saying the footprints poem that he was moving the scrotum for you.
I go to the pearly gates, and they're like, do you believe you deserve to go to heaven? And I'll pull out my scrotum, but like, yep.
So then all of a sudden, as he's wont to do, this giant robot crashes through the wall. It seems like the only way he enters anything is crashing through the wall.
Right? Because he's too big for doors.
Yeah, and he's definitely... So here's how I know things have already gone off the rails with kickers, because issue 1, apparently we find out that Magna Conte has powers, which is already going off from the script.
Right.
And issue 2, they seem to have abandoned the entire football thing, and they're just saying, well, kids like robots, right? And they just made a
I know I do.
robot comic book. And they were right to do it.
Yeah, this comic's been great so far.
What kind of power supply do you think that robot has?
Yeah, right? Maybe it's plugged into the wall.
Yeah, he can't get very far. Yeah, it's only a 20-foot plug.
Wouldn't it run on gas?
Oh, you'd hear it coming. Like he's got a pull
Yeah.
cable, a pull cord on the back of it, like an old lawnmower. I could
Or is
never
it
make that fucking
rechargeable
work
battery?
as a kid.
Yeah, right?
Could you guys make that pull cord work as a kid on the lawnmower? I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We had a gas mower.
We had a shitty old flea market lawnmower. That's probably why.
But we didn't have the ones that would just go on its own. Like, you had to push that shit.
No, yeah, oh, absolutely, of course.
Made me a stronger man.
so
My
he's
father was right to do that to me.
Yeah, it ruined you psychologically, but it made you a little stronger physically. So the robot, yeah, he looks like Rob from Nintendo, crossed with maybe the what's the robot from RoboCop? Not RoboCop, the other one.
T9000?
T9000? Yeah, it looks a little bit like that.
I can't remember.
That's
what
fine.
it's
That's
called.
probably
Aren't
right.
those,
You have 20
Terminator?
seconds to comply.
Are they what?
Aren't the T's from
Oh,
Terminator?
Terminator? Yeah. Shit, I can't remember. Ed 209. That's the name of the robot from.
Wow.
RoboCop.
What a dumb
Good
piece of
memory.
information to retain.
I've seen that movie like 100 million times.
Yeah. Well, it should have came faster then.
I love that movie.
So Rob 2000, whatever, he
Ed 209.
bursts through the wall. Rob 209, he bursts through the wall, and Magna Conte tells everybody to get down because the bullets are about to start flying.
Yeah, and he decides to punch the gun as hard as he can.
Well, he found its weak spot.
Yeah, punching it as hard as he can was its weakness. Before he did it, he thinks to himself, boy, I tell you what, everyone has one weak spot. And
it's
that's
usually
kicking its ass.
And we do have those.
I don't know what the heck's going on here, but someone needs to get their asses kicked. I am going to kick their asses.
That's pretty appropriate. That's pretty fitting. So then it seems like the robot, like, it's spinning something in its hand, like nunchucks.
Yeah.
What's going on there? I don't know. What
be
that
I think it's just like moving,
Yeah.
like the thing where you're like winding up your punch.
Yeah, and everybody just kind of gives up. First of all, by the way, this is a big robot. It's a huge robot, and we see that the room they're hanging out in, it's massive. It's a sprawling, like, 2,000 square foot room in a flop house.
Do you think it took a while to get there because of traffic?
Yeah, it was supposed to be there a lot quicker. That's why I had to break through the walls. Because, like, I don't have time to come through properly. I just got to get in.
I'm here.
You ever do that when you almost might be late
It
for
was
work?
avoiding tolls.
I've done some shit I shouldn't have done trying to get to work on time because I hate being late so much that it's even a possibility, I will be unfortunately a little too reckless.
See, now I'm very grateful to have a job where I used to be the same way, and now I'm never really late, but now I don't worry about it because like everyone I work with is constantly late.
You know, the once in a great while where I'm late, I always show up and I'm huffing and puffing, and everyone there is like, "Oh yeah, nobody's even here. Like
Yeah.
nothing's happening for like an hour and a half."
Yeah, like usually like if I'm 15 minutes late, it usually means everyone else is gonna be like 30 minutes late.
Yeah, that is true. Same traffic patterns and everything.
Yeah, so I don't worry about it. I don't care.
So it turns into a giant firefight, and I gotta give Doll here credit. Magna Conte's wife, she picks up an Uzi and just starts opening fire.
You know, we're calling her Doll, but here Suicide's calling her Doll, and she says, "Stop calling me that. My name's Darlene."
Oh, does she say that? Oh, she
Yeah,
does.
she said it
Darlene
earlier in the comic
Magna
too.
Conte.
Darlene Magna Conte. Yeah, she does. Okay, fair. Well,
My name is Peggy Hill.
In fairness, I've been calling them all by their nicknames.
But that's not her
for-
nickname. That's just Suicide being really sexist, hitting
mean,
on
it's-
Magna Conte's wife.
Well, it caught on because everyone calls her Doll. The only
just-
one I don't call by their superhero name is Magna Conte.
He saw he was talking to his wife, and he crushes him like a bug.
So they open fire on this robot, which it doesn't do anything. I mean, it's a fucking robot.
Well, the bullets ricochet and kill everyone in the room.
Yes. First of all, and then we got a panel where it looks like they're like battling out in a desert sunset.
Yep, no, they're just in a room.
They're still in a room, but we see like the sun setting in the background. It's very weird.
You're like the henchman guy who's not a Middle Eastern terrorist is like,
Mm-hmm.
why can't you talk? See, the CIA found us. I told you. And the
Wait,
guy,
this is a guy, not a group?
No, he's like that guy. Look at that. The
He's
dude.
got some buddies.
Yeah.
He's got this guy who looks like Gauguin or something with a beret.
No, he looks
on.
like who's that comedian? Oh.
Gallagher.
Oh, he looks like Sam Kinison.
Yeah, Sam
Oh.
Kinison.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy kind of sucked.
No, I mean, at the
I think-
time,
As,
it was-
as a kid, I remember thinking, "Oh, this is like a prior level legend. This is
Yeah.
like George Carlin." And now I'm like, "Oh no, he actually wasn't that good."
I mean, at the time, none of them back then were any good. Like
That is not true.
Like comedy changes too much. Like what
It
was
changes. Still, I watch old George Carlin bits or Richard Pryor bits, and they're still fucking funny.
Like now, like the kids are gonna look back at what we thought was funny. They're like, so you just thought everything that was like lazy and absurd was
Yeah,
funny?
that's
Right?
true.
Yep.
But not all comedy ages that poorly.
Yep.
Yeah,
I love lazy and absurd.
Yeah, we're just Sam Kinnising into middle age.
Just yelling. I love yelling.
Yeah, I realized that in hindsight, it's like, oh, you just didn't have a bit, so you just yelled all the time, and that was your whole thing.
Have you ever seen a full Sam Kinison like comedy special though? He could have
Probably
been really
not
funny.
a full
When
one.
I was a kid.
Do you remember we were talking shit about Whoopi Goldberg? She could have been really funny.
In fairness, everyone could. Like, Jay Leno is a fantastic comedian. He's very funny, but he's also a fucking schmuck.
Right.
Like, anybody, yeah, they're all technically good. They wouldn't be famous if they weren't technically good,
Right.
but did they have anything, did they actually do something with that technical aptitude? And I would say that Sam Kinison did not.
I bet he did, as I'm not a hater.
Yeah, I'm drinking that haterade.
That's right. That's all you do, James. You're like a but you have to have like the water truck guy bring you a full one of those jugs you put in
full
your
jug of
water
Haterade.
dispenser thing in your house.
I mean, I think it's because
Of
you
haterade.
lead me down the path of a lot of dumb bullshit. And of course, I don't like the dumb bullshit.
All right,
There's
and
plenty of things that I like.
And luckily, I'm always going to disagree with you for fun, so that
Yeah.
makes me sound like I'm like, now hold on, dude, I'm reasonable.
Yeah, we're not able to talk about any things I like. We're not gonna talk about Cormac McCarthy novels. Fuck.
No, bro.
No, we're never gonna talk about it.
You can't, even get, you can't even get me to read the books.
Yes, I
You want me to
can't.
read a real
That's why I
book?
have to read it. That's why I have to read a fucking comic book live while we're recording it.
Fuck, bro.
Anyway, so shit's going down. Like it's not, and the robot leaves by, of course, going through the wall.
Yeah,
again,
but backwards.
but backwards.
Yeah, but Magna Conte is holding on to it, and it's like trying to Brahma bowl him off.
The robot bucks Magna Conte off, and he goes smashing through a local windshield.
And he says, "Woo, haven't taken this much abuse since the last time we played Chicago, huh?" That's us.
Yeah. Local flavor. Local flavor. No, he actually does say
the
that.
Cubs were, or the
Yeah.
Bears were good.
Yeah, the Bears were good at one point.
Was this a Ditka era? Did we have Ditka yet?
Yeah, Mike Ditka. He was the
Yeah.
Super Bowl coach.
I'd say Mike Ditka is the Ditko of the NFL.
He is.
No, not really.
No.
A crazed libertarian? Yeah.
Is George Bush? Fucking is Coach
Weird.
Ditka a libertarian?
No, Steve Ditko is.
Well, he is a real man, so of course a real man would feel that way.
Yeah. He has a character called Mr. A, which is basically him saying the question wasn't radical enough. I need to have a more right-wing version of the question, and he made Mr. A, who has like no backstory, is just a guy in a trench coat who goes around screaming right-wing politics at people.
Wouldn't he be Mr. L for libertarian?
Well, he's A for answer. You know, he's got all the
because the
answers.
question.
Or, well, the question, the answer, but it's also a reference to Ayn Rand because the last section of Atlas Shrugged is called A is A. And so that's a part of her philosophy. So it's
Well, he should
objectivist.
have kept the question, but just called him Q.
Yeah,
That's
nowadays
why-
he would just be Q-Man.
That's why it's in the Simpsons episode.
At the nursery, yep, that's why it says A is A on the Ayn Rand School for Tots. Yep, you're pulling it all together. See, this is why we read real books.
Uh-huh.
So we can
No,
know
this
I don't
is
read
why you
Ayn Rand,
real
bro.
books and then tell us.
I've read the real books. I let you guys know. I've read all these fucking books.
Are they funny?
Oh, Ayn Rand is hilarious. It's the funniest shit you'll ever read. Atlas
speaking-
Shrugged is 1,100 wonderful, hilarious pages.
So, Magna Conte was Brahma bullying the robot, and now he decided to be a matador, and he tricked the robot into slamming into a telephone pole.
Right, and it works because robots are stupid.
Yep. And it turns out
Humans.
So he rips the fire hydrant open to get water on the robot who's now
Yeah.
electrified, and he blacks out the city.
So I remember, this is probably where I learned this shit, because I remember growing up and anytime there was anything, like if I was trying to imagine a story, like a fictional story, if I was play acting or whatever, anytime there was any sort of robot or electronic, it would always just be, oh, put water on it. Right. And then you'll win the fight. And I think that's what they were doing in the 80s with every fucking robot or electronic thing. And it doesn't quite work that way.
Nope, not really.
Not really. Like, first of all, you got to assume that it doesn't have any sort of waterproof housing. Like, if you're making an electronic thing, you're going to kind of insulate it so water can't get in. But secondly, even if it does, all it really does when water gets on a circuit board, all it does is fuck up the direction of the circuitry so it can't function properly. It doesn't make it explode necessarily.
Well, I mean, the robot's covered in down power line. If it's insulated against that, it'll be insulated against the water too.
Yeah, this is dumb.
Well, he blacks out the city.
He really does. It
turns out it's not a robot though. It's like a tank because there's dudes in there.
Oh yeah, he pulled out a guy. Oh, you know what? The guy he pulls out of there, I think, is the guy who helped show them. He was one of the local hoodlums.
Oh, one of the guy who looked like Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
The guy
there he is.
double
There's Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Yeah, Dave Mustaine. Yep.
Or no, the guy behind the guy with the double earring.
No, but this guy right here.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, Dave Mustaine there.
Whoa!
I hate that I have to ask this. I know the name, but
Dave
not
Mustaine. He's the guy from Megadeth.
He used to be in Metallica, and he formed Megadeth out of spite.
He did, and he made a better band.
He made a spite band. And then he did a weepy documentary with Metallica where they patched things up, but they still didn't do anything together.
Pussies. Hate forever.
Are you sure that wasn't a Behind the Music episode?
No, they made a documentary called Some Kind of Monster where they all went into therapy together.
Yep, weak.
Oh, therapy's awesome.
No, it's not.
Therapy is cool. Therapy is cool.
They just want your money.
Well, listeners, who do you want to be?
You'll never get better because they don't want you to get better. They want
you to
end
up
keep
more
going
like
in.
Mike, or you want to end up more like James? Who you want to end up like?
I have money because I didn't waste it on some
Who's taller?
charlatan.
Who's taller?
You got me.
Oh, if you want to play bank account bingo, we can compare things, buddy.
To both of you, if you want to play mental health bingo.
And I do
Or
not.
therapy bingo, I win that.
That's because it's either bleeding you dry, Shea. You keep going. You're never getting better.
No, I've gotten a lot better, actually.
You're still paying.
Well, I mean, you put a price on certain things, like, you know.
There's always going to be something new to work on from these charlatans.
Well, there's always something new to work on. It's called self-improvement. It's a lifelong journey. You're always supposed to be Did you just think you were done?
Yeah, you're done, and you go back to work and quit complaining.
At 26, you figured you were just finished?
Yeah, all done.
I'm pretty much perfect now. Stupid.
Get to work.
Yeah, it's been working out great for you. You're living the high life.
You're a man. No one cares about your feelings.
Well, that's true. So, so he pulls this dude out. He pulls Dave Mustaine out of this robot. I don't know if he was captive or if he was driving it or what was going on. And we're never going to find out.
Like a robot.
And they pull him out. And you know what? They call the guy Fist. They call the main terrorist guy Fist. So I guess it is just a guy who called his organization. He named it after himself.
Yeah, and that guy with the shattered jaw, I guess he set a self-destruct and blew up the building.
They blew up the building. It's gone.
Yep.
And then the robot blows up too, right? As naturally it would. And then they're kind of looking at this and saying, "Oh wow, we've caused a hell of a lot of destruction."
Dude,
today,
he's not kidding. This bottom panel is just like. It's like we hear sirens in the distance. What do you want to do, Jack? And he's just like, oh, I guess we better leave before we're spotted. I tell you what. And they're like, yeah, because you caused a blackout and you destroyed a private car.
So, wait a minute. I want to go over this a little bit. So Magna Conte's idea is let's leave before we're spotted and held accountable for this. However, the police remember that famous NFL football player Jack Conte went to his headquarters and asked him about this very thing. He was the only one looking into it.
There's a whole town of witnesses of him asking where these guys were.
They're a city-endorsed group.
and now, on top of everything he's already done, he wants to flee the scene of a crime he caused.
Just like an NFL football player. This is on brand.
What an asshole.
Let's get back. I have fighting dogs to feed.
He even says one of the kickers says, "We're talking major lawsuit if anyone finds out we're involved."
It's a second issue. Their first big case as Kickers Incorporated, and they destroy a portion of the city.
Besides, Jack totaled a private car and caused a blackout.
He did.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have any remorse about this.
Not at all.
He did stop the robot, though.
So then they head back to headquarters.
Let's hit the showers, and I'll show you why they call me Mr. Magnificent.
I'm sure you will.
See, you had some good ones, dude.
Yeah, I had to work it out a little bit. And so the next morning, they're all relaxing back at their giant, ill-gotten headquarters, having a good time, coming up with alibis. Where they were last night.
We were here all night. He goes, yeah, I was dressed like Michael Jackson.
We were having a huge buffet. Everybody knows Tuesday night is buffet night at the Kickers Inc. Incorporated.
Look at that, even like Suicide Hat. He has Michael Jackson outfit, and he's even got a bandana wrapped around his leg.
I think he looks more like Bruce Lee at this point.
Doon, 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 doon.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does have the red band around his leg.
Shamon.
He really wants people to compliment his outfit, and just nobody's doing it. Mm-hmm. They're just refusing to do it.
And then the guy who's always in the superhero outfit goes, "Welcome to my world."
So he says, "What about the woman whose flowers got destroyed? Is there anything we do for her? Can we at least tell her about the robot?" And Magna Conte says, "No, we can't. Can't tell her anything.
Can't replant. Oh, they are replanting her roses.
He's like, "Don't worry. I threatened to kill the broken skulls if they didn't go do gardening for this old lady."
And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she wore her finest sleeveless vest.
Yep, her own Michael Jackson vest.
Yeah. Yes. So the entire point of that robot was nothing.
Yeah,
yeah. What was the robot supposed to do?
I don't know. He apparently would roll around town and smash gardens.
Yeah.
And then when street gangs ratted them out to a famous football team, the robot was sent to destroy them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I guess the guy running the robot was a Middle Eastern terrorist?
Yeah, I think that's true.
And he was in his plot to destroy American gardens?
Yeah, he wanted to just destroy old ladies' prize rose gardens.
And out of all that, his reward is Magna Conte shatters his jaw.
Yeah, destroy his jaw. But he did make a getaway, so apparently he fixed his jaw well enough that he could communicate.
No, bro. You're not.
He does.
You're not. You're done now.
It says, speaking of being done, we're done. It says, next issue, the Kickers face druids, demons, ceremonial magicians, gangsters, a football minicamp, and the witches of Westchester. That is too much.
At least
so
they're going to...
Probably witches show up for 2.5 pages and ultimately have nothing to do with it.
The witches are the player wives, am I right?
Yeah, it sounds like a packed issue. We'll get around to it. Not next, of course, because that would be chronological and we can't do that.
At least they're going to minicamp.
Yeah, they're actually going to show up for a couple minutes.
All right? The coach is just like, at least they're here. Wait, Magna Conte is the coach. Who cares?
You know, we know in, it's either issue 8 or 10, which isn't that far down the line, they go to the Super Bowl. So, like, this is, their behavior, as we see in this issue, is laying the foundation to be a Super Bowl team.
Yep.
Wow.
The teamwork and robot battling.
Well, what do we think of this thing?
I love it, as I love all Kickers books.
Great as always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very solid. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I remain confident that this book will eventually turn into a masterpiece once we see how all the pieces come together. I think
in a Will Smith movie.
Will Smith is going to show up, but I can only evaluate on what I saw today. And I mean, come on, let's face facts. This isn't a solid book. It's sadly going to have to be 1 out of 5 cherished childhood memories of James playing Nintendo with Rob the Robot. Oh wait, yeah, that never happened. Never mind. There's nothing there. It never occurred. Never took place. Sorry, ruined my childhood. Yeah, I never got to experience that.
You don't need that. What you needed is to be taught that having a job is more important than anything else.
I needed a job when I was 8 years old, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like every 8-year-old.
Yeah,
mine.
Well. I don't know, I'm kind of deflated now. I'm deflated now.
Good.
Well, we should talk about what's happening next time.
Yeah, I guess
Shée should talk about what's happening next
apparently
time.
It's
We're
Shea's
reading
birthday.
a Barbie comic.
We're going to read a Barbie comic because it's Shea's birthday, kind of. Mm-hmm. She is turning 22. And
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
She wanted to read a Barbie comic, and once a year, we allow her to have a decision.
Smells like old lady in here.
Yeah.
Open up the windows, air it out, air out the cobwebs.
She
I'm
is
younger
the youngest
than you
of
by
us.
fair amount.
Come on, Shée. We know that that's different for a man than it is for a woman.
It is true. Have you seen
We're aware of that.
Have you seen the things with Leonardo DiCaprio? How he always breaks up with anyone he's dating by the time they turn 26.
Why? You know what happens when they turn 26? They get busted.
It's somebody made a graph of all the women he's dated, and sure enough, there's a hard line that they never cross 26.
All right, those girls are called ran through. There's girls and there's old ladies, and there is nothing in between. Pretty soon you're gonna have to get that meshy net to keep your organs from falling out of your vagina.
I think you have to get that with when you have kids.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Not now. You're busted. Too late.
Yeah, you ran out the clock. Ran out the clock.
I'm looking at getting my tooth tied
child?
and everything, and I want to have a party to celebrate it. And my mom gave me the great suggestion of calling it a tubal-wear party
Tubes
instead
tied?
of a tubal-wear party.
Yeah,
Why?
Why not? Then you can just go bareback all over town.
It's just like, is being bareback that big of a deal? Just wear a condom. Like, I don't know why people have such problems against condoms.
Because look, you got to be safe. I'm not advocating anybody take any risks. Nobody's pull-out game is that good, all right? But let's be honest, it fucking sucks.
No, I like condoms. I last longer. Like, it's better.
Too long.
It's
Too long.
better.
You're gonna be there all night because you can't feel anything. No sensations are getting
Oh,
through.
James, unlike, maybe you should be more like me and not like pounding your meat relentlessly in order to feel something.
I got to keep a very low tank.
Maybe like take a couple weeks off and let that
A couple weeks?
Let that resistance return. Yeah, you wait a couple weeks, dude. You're gonna be busting normally.
What am I, the
like an
Buddha?
adult.
What kind of discipline do I need to have for
You're
2
Mister. You're
weeks?
bragging about running 10 miles. Stop jacking off. You were running 20 miles trying to run off that boner.
Running a half
I'm
marathon.
really glad that we could take my tubes tied to be about you guys and
Yeah,
your
it's about
dicks.
men.
Well, Shée, you can't be running. All your organs are gonna fall out of your vagina.
Actually, Shée and I went for a run, and Shée came was following behind me on her rollerblades. We had a great time on Lakeshore Trail.
Roller skates.
Yeah, that'd be too sexy.
You think rollerblades are sexy?
Yeah, dude.
No.
I'm sure it's like Encino Man taught me that.
You remember the Kids in the Hall sketch where Dave Foley was a rollerblader, or an inline skater as it was, and he was trying to impress like 15-year-old girls with it.
No.
Yeah, it worked.
Anyway, speaking of 15-year-old girls, it's gonna be Shay's birthday. It's her quinceanera, and we're gonna spin the wheel and decide which
wheel of Barbie.
The Wheel of Barbie. Now, I went looking for a spinning song before I knew it was gonna be the Wheel of Barbie.
Yeah, because it would just be that Barbie song, wouldn't it?
You know, we did do an Aqua song, the band that does the Barbie song, for Christmas. It was a spinning Christmas song.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, that wouldn't fit. So no, this is what we got instead, some spinning music.
Round, round, round we go. Round, round, round we go. Round, round, round we go. If you love me, let me know.
That
sounds awful.
That is UK rapper Dizzy Rascal's "Round We Go."
Oh, Dizzy Rascal
Oh, I
is
like
terrible.
I like Dizzy Rascal.
Well, then it works out for you, Shea. But yeah, apparently he's a pretty well-regarded guy. But this kind of blows.
I like those three.
you gotta listen to the song Bonkers.
I like those three old guys, the Northern boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
Those are
great.
All right, let's spin the Barbie wheel. We've got about 7 or 8 choices. Fantastic Barbie.
It sounds
comics
like
throughout the
mindless
years.
self-indulgence. Remember that band?
I
Yeah, that was a
love
big thing in high
Mindless
school.
Oh my
Self-Indulgence.
God.
Yeah, I don't hate this song.
Okay. Okay. Barbie issue 37.
Oh, nice
And
easy.
I don't have this queued up, but let me see if I can search for it. Is this what it is, Shea? This
Yes,
little
it
thumbnail
is.
here? Okay. So let's take a look at the cover of it here. Jesus Christ. It is from Marvel Comics. I'm not sure what year this is. I'm going to guess like 1990, right
This
about?
seems very culturally
the
sensitive.
series ran between 91 and 95 or 96.
Okay, so this is probably
somewhere in there.
92, 93.
This is Barbie appropriating the Indian culture, or is it the Thai culture? I can't even tell. So I'm racist like that.
Yeah, she's dressed in a very ornate gown,
Yeah.
dancing on
this is
the
100% going to be a comic game for children.
Right. She's dancing on the trunk of an elephant that is dressed up in regalia. Yeah, well, all animals are slaves.
Yep. Put on earth by God for humans to.
They like it. They like it. And it says, winner of the Parents' Choice Honors.
Oh, perfect.
So-
Very Dark Side's couch.
Now, we haven't looked at this at all. I think, Shea, you picked this one, I think.
It was a very random. Like, we just frantically started picking books for the wheel,
right?
And now we're like, we didn't look.
This could be really bad. Like this could be real hard to make an episode out of, but we're gonna do it.
No
because
doubt.
it's Shea's birthday present.
I think we can make an episode out of anything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's what we're gonna do.
Fantastic.
Barbie number 37 from somewhere in the 90s from Marvel Comics. It's gonna be an episode. It's gonna happen. You can't deny that it's an episode.
Shée won't be here. She'll be in the hospital getting her organs pushed back up inside her.
Yeah, she's gonna be broadcasting live from St. Jude's Hospital. Shée.
What if we're doing a somber episode for Shée because she died, like getting her tubes tied.
And we're still gonna do the Barbie comic in memoriam.
Yeah, we are.
We're still gonna do it.
It's what Shée would want.
It's what Shée would have wanted.
Yep.
Shée, I would want you to read us some closing plugs, please.
Yeah, I can do that. Much like the Barbie episode will be, listen to a episode on
Only one.
Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any other podcast app that you are currently listening to us on. Be sure to subscribe to us, hit those like buttons, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, you can go to darksidescouch.com and listen, plus see an entire list and wonderful layout that James has put together of all of our previous episodes.
Yep.
And tell James to show us his feet at Dark Side's Couch on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and at our YouTube channel handle now, which is @, Dark Side's Couch.
Yeah, it's an @Dark Side's Couch. Yeah.
At Dark Side's Couch. Really? I thought it wasn't until the 14th.
No, it's on. It's live. Well, this is after Thanksgiving, so no, I tested it. It's live. Yeah, you got to like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I was going to suggest that people give us $8 for a blue check mark, but apparently that's a dumb idea.
I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not taking part in that. I don't want their money for that.
We didn't have a blue check mark anyway. Who cares?
I don't care. I'm never doing that. Fuck your blue check mark. Twitter's fucking dead.
It didn't fucking matter. All right. Well, we got through this again.
Yeah.
Every time, I wonder if we're going to get through this car crash, and we somehow always do it.
Perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. Everything's fine.
The car crash is part of it. Stop trying to change me.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just like, I feel like I'm the guy who has to like clean the guts off the ground. I feel like in the car crash of this show, I'm the Mike's mom who has to inspect all the assholes and the prolapsed anuses.
Yep.
Yeah. You are. A weird pile of metaphors.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not sure what any of that was.
A harsh description of my jokes.
I think that's it. We should get out of here.
Yep.
Enjoy your football season, right? And I think we should do another Kickers come like probably the Super Bowl. I think we've been doing that.
I'm very thankful for the NFL because I'm allowed to hang out with my dad without having to talk to him.
Yes. Anybody got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Hopefully, Barbie will be able to have this adventure without all of her organs falling out of her vagina.
Shée?
Eat all the dinner sides.
Ta-ta for now, Cushion Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
Listen, if you've had a transvaginal mesh implant, it could be putting you at serious risk. Several meshes have been recalled.
There's nothing funny about these sounds. What that person has is a medical disorder.